Hi everyone, I'm Jack from Jack's English.
And I'm Luke from Learn English Like a Pro, and this is the third episode of our podcast, which is designed to help you improve your listening skills through our natural discussions. And this week's topic is about backpacking.
Yeah.
So let's start off with our first point. So, Jack, have you ever been backpacking?
I have. I've done a lot of backpacking actually.
Yeah.
I think there's really two types of backpacking. You've got the backpacking where you go hiking and you bring your tent on the back and your raincoat and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the sort of long-term backpacking where you travel a country and live frugally. And I've done both. So particularly my main experience is in Australia. And I spent a year in Australia going hostel to hostel, getting jobs here and there, and living on a very small amount of money. And I did that for a year and saved my money and had a wonderful time with lots of
That
experiences.
sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually I've been backpacking in two times in my life. One in Australia, like you, and also once in Europe. So in Europe, I was lucky enough to study abroad for a whole semester. I actually got paid a little bit to do so.
Wow.
So I saved up my money. I lived very frugally as a student, and then after the course is finished, I spent 3 months just bussing around Europe.
Right.
It was amazing.
Which
Yeah.
countries did you visit?
So I started off in Germany. That's where I did my semester abroad, and then I went up to Czech Republic, down to Hungary, into Slovenia, Austria. Where else did I go to? Denmark.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic actually.
So my image of those countries is that they're quite expensive countries, particularly like Germany and Denmark. Is that true, or can you live frugally there?
You can definitely live on a budget,
Yep,
but it is quite expensive if you want nice things in life.
of course.
But as a teenager, I was 19 and didn't really care about that, so I
Yes.
stayed in the worst hostels you could find, the cheapest ones online.
Yeah.
They were all completely run down. Quite a few times I woke up just itchy.
Oh God,
with little
yes.
bites on my body. But overall, it was a great experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same. In Australia, of course, it was a mix of various hostels, and the most memorable experience among them, again, it was some very cheap ones.
Yeah.
But I got into bed and I thought, there's a funny smell. It's coming from the sheet. And I smelt the sheet, and it was just the most awful smell, like it had been tucked under someone's armpit for weeks. And of course I couldn't sleep. It was really, really awful.
Yeah.
And I ended up just using the undersheet for the night. And I think that's just a good example of the kind of conditions that you sometimes have to put up with when you're doing that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. I think that story leads us nicely into our second point for this discussion, and that is your good and bad experiences while backpacking.
Yeah, right.
So can I go first? Do you
Yeah,
mind?
go for it.
So again, staying in hostels, I've had one just awful experience, and it was a prolonged experience for like a week. So we're in this small hostel. It was in Thailand, and man, there was just one guy staying in this small room with me. He was just the loudest snorer ever.
Yeah.
Like he snored from the moment he fell asleep to the moment he woke up, and he didn't even know. And he was so nice. So I didn't want to tell him when in the daytime, like, hey man, stop it. Because one, you can't
it's a
stop it.
difficult one.
And secondly, he was so nice about it. Just a nice guy. So, but that was a whole week without sleep, and it kind of ruined my holiday because it's grumpy when I woke up.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
How many people did you have in a room?
In that hostel, I think it was 6 or 7, not too big. I've stayed in a place in London which had 18,
Yes.
and that was stinky.
Really?
It smelled rancid.
Was it a mixed gender room or?
It was a mixed gender room.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you did have the girls and guys in there. And,
right.
Yes.
Do you have any good experiences before we move on?
okay,
Or-
good experiences. Well, I've had some wonderful experiences. Particularly, I would say in England, I did a lot of hiking where we went place to place, hostel to hostel, in the Lake District. Are you familiar with the Lake District?
I know of it, and I of course, as Peter Rabbit.
Of course, yeah.
But I've never been there.
Yeah, so the Lake District is a national park in the northwest of England, and I went there almost every summer.
Yes.
And we went hostel to hostel, and it's just the most beautiful place. And the hostels are nice. It's difficult, you're taking everything on your back, and you do have to pack very lightly. And we eat these sort of dehydrated meals that are in packets.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with these, but it's just a packet like the size of your hand, and you add it to water.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's your meal.
It's basically army food.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's army food, and it was quite nice actually. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
You don't really care because you're so hungry after a day on the mountains, so it was okay. And that was a wonderful experience. I do hope I can go back and do it again.
Nice.
How about you? A good experience this time?
Oh yeah, I think just meeting people is the best thing for me.
Yes.
So of course, when you're backpacking, you are jumping around from hostel to hostel. You're not settled down at all, and you just meet a wide variety of people from all walks of life.
Yes.
Young, old.
Yeah.
Different nationalities, different race, different sexualities, and I think it just broadens your horizons.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. So normally you meet in the hostel common room, right? Was that the same for you?
Yeah.
These wonderful common rooms, and especially back in England, we had the fireplaces and stuff up in the Lake District.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was wonderful, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I must tell you my bad
Go on
experience,
then.
right?
Yeah.
My bad experience came from Australia,
Mm.
and as I said, I had to do a lot of part-time work, and you do the worst jobs when you're doing part-time work. You're just trying to scrape together money, and one particular job was an orange picking job. And it was in South Australia, and you probably experienced the same, but there's a lot of insects and spiders and snakes, and when you're orange picking, you experience everything. And I remember one particular orange, I picked this big orange off the tree, and I turned it round to put it in the bag, and it was covered on the other side by a spider the size of your hand, and you could see the teeth on it and the eyes, and I threw the orange as hard as I could, and it was just, oh no, I can't do this job. It's everything in Australia felt like it wanted to kill you.
Yes. Oh man.
So that keeps me up at night sometimes. The image of that.
When I was in Australia, I didn't see many spiders, but I saw quite a few big snakes.
Yes.
And for me, I think snakes are worse than spiders.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know why. I have a phobia of
Right.
snakes. Actually. Yeah.
Well, they are more dangerous, aren't they? And especially in Australia.
Yeah. So and it's huge, humongous
Yes,
snakes.
huge things, big. Horrible.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to point 3 of this discussion.
Yes.
So let's think about some tips. So do you have any tips for people who would like to go backpacking?
Yeah, so, the obvious one, I think, is choosing the right bag. It's very easy just to buy any bag for backpacking, but you do have to make sure, firstly, you have enough room in your bag. So try to get one with as many litres as possible, but also making sure it's tough.
Yes.
So I was lucky with that, actually, and I picked one which, I did this backpacking 10 years ago. I still have it today, and I still use it today. So obviously I picked the right one for quality, and as a plug for that company, it was Berghaus. So if you're looking for a quality bag, try Berghaus. I don't know if they sell that in your country, but it was wonderful. And I think that's very important because a lot of my fellow travelers had problems with their bag, holes, mice could chew through them, anything like that. That was a big issue.
Right. Yeah, for me, I think, on the same lines as a backpack, is learning how to pack properly.
Okay.
So, of course, when you're backpacking, you only have one backpack, and you have a lot of stuff. and you can actually, if you pack it well, you can get a lot more stuff in your backpack.
Sure.
So learning how to fold your clothes really economically, learning, I don't know, how to organize your backpack well and use all the compartments effectively.
So how did you do that? Did you learn some method, the army method of folding boxes or something? How did you do it?
I'm saying this now because I didn't do this well at all.
Okay,
I realized after like months of backpacking, like, man, I need to learn to pack my backpack properly because it was just taking, I couldn't fit everything in, but like obviously it could, I just wasn't doing it properly.
Yes. Yeah, that's an important thing. Interestingly, when I was in Australia, I noticed the South Korean travelers were very good, particularly the guys, were very good at packing their bags, and they had this particular method for folding. And I asked a guy, and he said, yeah, we're trained in the army,
of course,
how to do this.
Right.
So I learnt off him, and I realised the value of doing that and how you can fit much more in your bag.
Exactly.
So that's valuable.
That's cool. One benefit of going to the army.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, one benefit. Yeah. Do you have any other tips?
I think just be as open as you can to meet new people, experience new things, and just go there with an attitude of to enjoy it, basically.
Yeah.
With an open attitude. I think that's the best. That's the number one tip in my opinion, actually.
Yes, I'd agree with you, and that's similar to my second tip. Is sort of manage your expectations.
Yes.
I think sometimes we get used to kind of lavish accommodation or even a lavish lifestyle, and we like the finer things in life, and we go on a backpacking trip, and of course it's nothing like that.
Yes.
So you do have to manage your expectations. Right. Did you have that situation as well when you went backpacking? Like, were you able to adapt easily?
I was okay.
Yeah,
I was okay. I mean, my first hostel was a dump. It was filthy, and I was fine. My friends didn't like it too much, but personally, I'm pretty easygoing. Okay. So I was fine, as long as the bed is somewhat comfortable and people are not snoring.
Yes.
So I can get my beauty sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, no, I think just go and enjoy yourself and have a positive attitude. Yes,
I think that's very important, and I think that's the thing. You mustn't be picky, right? When you're with everything, the accommodation, the food as well. Yep. I think we tend, certainly for me, I'm a bit picky with my food. I love good food, but you can't think like that. As I mentioned, those sort of army meals, you just got to accept that's part of life on the road.
Yeah, I think that's totally true.
Yes.
Okay, shall we wrap it up?
I think so.
Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below in the comments section. And just thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back very soon. So have a great week and see you soon. Bye-bye.